Stop what you're doing because the world of reality TV has completely changed. No one anticipated the dramatic confrontation that broke out, as emotions that had been building for months finally boiled over with cameras rolling and voices shouting. The epitome of hip-hop drama and classic love is Chrissy Lampkin, the lady who established her name by being brutally honest, unvarnished, and raw, just let loose on Brooke Bailey. Furthermore, this was not a trivial verbal altercation. The entire audience fell silent in shock at this full-on, gloves-off confrontation. According to witnesses, Prey's outburst of wrath was not unexpected. For weeks, Brooke had been subtly disparaging. In interviews, slick-side remarks, Instagram pictures, and rumors about Chrissy's history that ultimately touched a raw nerve. However, when the two women finally met, their subtle tension exploded into the kind of reality TV gold producers can only imagine. It wasn't simply words being hurled, which is the most absurd aspect. Security reportedly had to intervene before things went really wrong because tables were banged and drinks almost spilt. The crowd froze when Chrissy leaned across the table and pointed in Brooke's face, according to one insider, who cursed. Because it was immediately apparent to everyone that history was being made. The real kicker, though, comes next. This conflict is about more than simply ego or shade, according to insiders. Beneath it all is a more profound betrayal, something tying their personal lives together and capable of shattering alliances we believe to be unshakable. And believe me, as soon as you hear okay, you'll see why Chrissy lost it when you see the receipts. If you want to know why Chrissy Lampkin's outburst at Brooke Bailey rocked the room and the internet, you must go back in time, because this wasn't just a casual argument between two reality TV veterans. No, this altercation had been simmering for months, if not years. And when it did explode, it was the kind of explosion that was visible from a great distance. Chrissy will be our first. You're already aware of her famous reputation if you've been watching reality TV since the early 2010s. From her iconic roles on Love and Hip Hop New York, Chrissy established Elaine as one of the most fearlessly independent women to ever appear on TV. She didn't hesitate to face her partner, Jim Jones, on national television. She didn't hesitate to square. She got along with her co-stars and wasn't hesitant to express her feelings on treachery, loyalty, and respect. Simply put, Chrissy's reputation was based on being the person that no one wanted to mess with. Next up is Brooke Bailey. Brooke emerged through Basketball Wives, a more recent force that is equally destructive. Her ability to stir up drama without breaking a sweat, cutting clapbacks, and caustic tongue have earned her a reputation. She has developed a devoted following over the years, one that absorbs every criticism she posts online and views Chrissy as the traditionalist of reality TV realism. The new wave of shade warfare fueled by Instagram is exemplified by Brooke. You can bet it will get ugly when the two universes bump into each other. How did we end up here? It has been floating back and forth in faint shade for months. During an Instagram live, Brooke is accused of making impish remarks about Chrissy's age, implying that some women should gracefully step away from the spotlight rather than holding on to outdated plots. It was instantly interpreted by fans as a barb at Chrissy, and the video went viral. Chrissy didn't hold back, true to form. In response, she said in a different interview, "Some of these knew there were rumors, but the shots were clear, the tension was evident, and fans were simply waiting for the ultimate face-to-face encounter." Girls mistakenly believe that hurling insults is equivalent to having a plot, but you can't manufacture respect or longevity. Numerous blogs started claiming that Chrissy and Brooke's argument went beyond words. It had a personal touch. According to rumors, Brooke had become too close to a trusted member of Chrissy's social circle. Whether it was a friendship betrayal, a business deal gone awry, or something more messed up. There were hints from insiders that Brooke had gone beyond public criticism. The rumors fueled a fire that was already burning fiercely. Naturally, producers saw the storm coming. They realized they were sitting on potential ratings gold when they set up Chrissy and Brooke in the same room with cameras ready, and the mood was obvious right away. Neither woman would compromise. The contrast between the two is what intensifies this. Chrissy bears the burden of her past in the game and the deference she is entitled to as a pioneer. While Brooke thrives on upending the status quo, she demonstrates that she is not obligated to submit to anyone. It wasn't only two personalities colliding that caused their crash. There were two realities: television's struggle for control and the build-up. Yes, it was heavy. Before the altercation, Brooke shared a mysterious Instagram story. "Time is up for some folks. No one is afraid of you, Grandma, are they?" Fans accused Chrissy of stoking the fires right away. Legend status can't be bought, Chrissy said, as the caption on a photo she shared of herself. Sweetheart, the shots were made in public, the atmosphere was antagonistic, and the crowd was ready for fireworks. All of that history, the subtle jabs, the rumors, and the internet animosity boiled to the surface when the two finally met eyes. Even before any of them opened their tongues, witnesses said, you could sense the tension. The atmosphere was dense. The buzz among producers was intense. Already security was very vigilant. It's a well-known fact that Chrissy doesn't bluff. She will speak up if she is treated disrespectfully. Brooke thrives on conflict and takes pleasure in it as if it were her lifeblood. This was never going to be a peaceful discussion. It had to be a blast. And precisely that is what took place. Chrissy didn't hold back on making small talk. She was not bothered by niceties. She launched herself at Brooke's jugular, letting loose a kind of unbridled rage that paralyzed the room. Here's where it gets crazy, though. It wasn't simply what Brooke said in public that caused cries to blow up. The subject matter was more profound, intimate, and unexpected for her to discuss in front of the cameras. And the actual shock came when she did. When Chrissy Lampkin and Brooke Full first met in person, it was an explosive scene. As soon as Chrissy entered the room, her enthusiasm was freezing. Absence of forced hugs and phony smiles. Meanwhile, Brooke sat with her chin up, flashing that recognizable grin that admirers are all too familiar with. That sneer read, I dare you. Oh, did Chrissy accept that challenge? Chrissy, according to witnesses, wasted no time. She delivered the first verbal blow while leaning over the table and looking directly at Brooke. You believe that by playing with my name you can get away with it? No, sweetie, you have me warped. The space froze. Producers shuffled uneasily, and you could practically hear security creeping up on them. Brooke remained unflinching. Rather, with a sarcastic tone in her voice, she shot back. I see that you are suddenly concerned with your name. When your man was making you seem foolish on national television, where was that enthusiasm? The room erupted in gasps. Brooke had gone too far and everyone knew it. For years she had targeted Chrissy's protracted and complex relationship with Jim Jones. For asking him to marry her, waiting for a marriage that never materialized, and persevering through the highs and lows, Chrissy had received criticism. It wasn't merely prejudice when Brooke brought up the past during the altercation. It was disrespectful to the nuclear level. That's when Chrissy lost her temper. Don't you ever speak on my man again. You don't know what love is. You don't know what loyalty is, and you damn sure don't know me, she yelled, slamming her hand on the table so hard that the drinks shook. She then leaned forward until she was inches from Brooke's face. One of the producers reportedly dropped their clipboard due to the intensity of her voice. Oh, I don't know. Then you explain why your so-called friend was just in my direct messages, disclosing all your secrets. You're furious at me? Be mad at your opponent? Brooke, however, wasn't backing down. She smirked once more and launched the first twist of the evening. Everyone realized that Brooke had just dropped a bombshell, so the camera immediately zoomed in as the room burst with gasps, whispers, and hands covering mouths. Chrissy's eyes dilated, her anger briefly giving way to disbelief. Circle, because they are the ones feeding me your secrets. Has someone in Chrissy's close circle deceived her, or was Brooke bluffing? Fans who watched the behind-the-scenes footage claimed to have seen Chrissy's face go white before she recovered, her rage erupting once more as she pointed a finger at Brooke and yelled, "You a liar! Your livelihood is generating chaos. Stop talking and show the receipts." And this is the location insiders claim that Brooke took her phone out of her purse and brandished it in Chrissy's face, saying, "Don't tempt me, boo." Things got even more crazy. Security drew nearer as the cast yelled, "I have screenshots that will make you wish you never came for me." Producers became alarmed. Chrissy, however, rushed forward and almost toppled the table before Brooke could divulge anything. And it took 2 security officers to stop her as she said, "You better put that phone down before I break it in your face. You better put that phone down before I break it in your face. Before I ruin your face and break it." The argument had evolved from being about shade to being about treachery, trust, and receipts that had the potential to destroy Chrissy's entire existence. The possibility that someone close to her, a friend, a co-star, or even a member of her family might also be disclosing her secrets. All right, Brooke set the drama in motion. Online fans instantly went into detective mode, and social media threads arose with theories about who the mall might be. Some cited former friends who had a falling out with Chrissy, while others suggested it might be a member of the cast. In an attempt to create a plot point, Hashtags such as #H who snitched on Chrissy and Brooke got receipts became viral overnight. But back in the room, the tension reached an intolerable level, and Chrissy, still restrained, yelled, "If you're that brave, drop the damn screenshots now." The final cliffhanger was that one sentence, "Time is everything." Brooke, ever the provocateur, leaned back in her chair and replied quietly, "Not yet." This signified that Brooke wasn't joking. Producers attempted to defuse the situation before it became physical by calling a break. But the damage had already been done, and Chrissy bounded off the stage, yelling at anyone who would listen, "This ain't over. I'll play dirtier if you want to play filthy." Brooke, meanwhile, walked away grinning contentedly, her phone held in her palm like a weapon she was itching to unleash. And the fallout. Instant. Producers were frantically trying to decide whether to let Brooke show the receipts on camera or save them for the reunion special, and fans were consuming it like the most juicy drama they had ever seen. However, the worst part was that what Brooke hinted at wasn't just about the first significant twist ends there. Chrissy's personal life. Insiders claim that the secrets included money, loyalty, and friendships that could destroy several relationships on the show. If those screenshots were made public, it would not only be Chrissy versus Brooke, it would also bring half of the cast into the flames. The break-in filming didn't deter the threat of a betrayal that might expose everyone in Chrissy's circle. And the question today is straightforward but terrifying. Who betrayed Chrissy? And how long before Brooke drops the nuclear receipts? It's not simply a confrontation between two reality TV heavyweights. As soon as Chrissy stormed off set, red-faced and fuming, and Brooke strutted away, smirking with her phone in hand, the confrontation simply moved from the room to the internet, where fans, bloggers, and castmates poured petrol on the fire. Then came the shocking revelation, which made everyone realize that Brooke wasn't bluffing. The escalation began almost immediately, and within an hour, anonymous gossip pages started posting blurry screenshots purportedly taken from Brooke's phone screen. They were not very clear, but they appeared to be communications from someone in Chrissy's camp revealing personal information about her finances and her connection with Jim Jones, including the following. Chrissy is having trouble keeping up. Jim isn't contributing what you all believe. She is paying the bills. Another said, he'll never marry her. She's still waiting on that ring. Fans went crazy. Was Brooke genuinely clinging to evidence that Chrissy's closest circle had betrayed her? Or was this just shrewd editing to stir things up? Either way, it worked. As soon as the screenshots went viral and the hashtag Chrissy Exposed began trending, the storyline changed from Brooke merely making fun of Chrissy to Brooke possibly holding her most private secrets in her palm. Then on Instagram Live, the second bombshell revealed. By flashing her phone at the camera, Brooke teased her fans, saying, "I told y'all I don't talk for nothing." She smiled, adding, "Receipts don't lie. I'm just deciding when y'all deserve to see them." The live stream was a huge success, drawing thousands of people in just a few minutes. She dropped the screenshots and flooded the comments with requests to show it. Don't be so dramatic, sis. Don't be modest. While castmates attempted to calm her down, Chrissy's reaction was one of sheer rage. According to sources, who claim she went on a tirade backstage, accusing Brooke of lying and promising to reveal the snake in her circle who had been pumping her information. One of the gossip blogs claimed to have the unedited screenshots sent directly from an anonymous source, but Chrissy wasn't having it. "I don't need proof," she yelled. "I know one of these fake H-friends is talking, but I promise you when I find out who, it's over, done." This is where the shocking revelation completely upended everything. Screenshots. The person who sent Brooke the information wasn't just any acquaintance. It was supposedly a cast member. The name was obscured, but the emojis and writing style had fans guessing. The internet detectives came alive, comparing slang, typing styles, and even timestamps to identify the mole, and some people swore it was a woman. People that Chrissy had recently made amends with said the reunion of their friendship was a ruse to betray her, while others said it was a longtime ally who was secretly envious of Chrissy's standing as an original. The tension among the cast became oppressive, and every side-eye and whisper became suspect. "I am now producers. We're drooling." The battle had evolved from a furious dispute to a full-fledged mystery. Who had betrayed Chrissy and what was Brooke hiding? Meanwhile, social media transformed this feud into a source of amusement. with TikTok edits showcasing Chrissy's most famous battles across the years, with the phrase, "She's going to throw a fit again." One comment went viral saying, "Brooke Bailey came to snatch Chrissy's crown and she brought screenshots as weapons." Other Twitter threads contrasted Brooke's actions to those of other reality TV villains, with others dubbed her the new queen of messy drama. However, insiders hinted that the split was genuine, even as fans were amused. Chrissy reportedly halted, according to one insider who spoke to a blog. Chrissy feels like she's fighting a war on two fronts. Brooke in her face and a snake behind her back. And then Brooke raised the stakes even higher on her Instagram story. She also refused to film group scenes until producers promised to reveal the mole and cut off friendships with half the cast until she figured out who was leaking. She left a mysterious comment. What can be done in the dark always comes to light, but it was the background, not the caption, that was disturbing. Fans cursed. The picture behind her words was blurry, but it showed a portion of a document with Chrissy's name on it. Was it a contract, a bank statement, or something worse? No one knew, but it was enough to start a lot of rumors. Chrissy said, "Ain't no woman alive going to play with me like this," in a visibly enraged Instagram live stream. By this time, she had had enough. "Whatever Brooke wants to say, she had better keep my name and business out of her mouth before I deal with it. Camera OFF." Fans were shocked by her threat and began to wonder if Chrissy was prepared to breach boundaries, which the producers were unable to stop. Here's the worst part. A partial receipt was dropped by Brooke just as it appeared that she was bluffing. She posted a cropped screenshot on Twitter that appeared to be a conversation with a person who was identified as Sis. Whoever Brooke captioned it saying, "I told y'all she ain't who she pretend to be. More coming soon." That one action completely changed the course of events. Chrissy too busy chasing TV clout. Jim deserves better. Fans poured inside Chrissy's socials asking for clarification. However, the worst part is that producers supposedly confirmed that Brooke wasn't lying. Who was Sis? Why were people close to her dragging her behind her back? Was Brooke exposing the truth or just manufacturing chaos? The receipts Brooke claimed to have were examined beforehand, and insiders said they were authentic enough to be acceptable for use in movies. The day Brooke chooses to release the entire set, that is. Not only would it make Chrissy look foolish, but it can also ruin her alliances, relationships, and reputation as the unflappable original. One question remains unanswered after the unexpected revelation. What is Brooke's limit? Will she risk nuclear repercussions by releasing the complete receipts? Or does she want to use them as leverage to manipulate Chrissy and the plot? In either case, one thing is evident. There is more to this confrontation than just a brawl. A conflict is going on. Additionally, the mole inside Chrissy's circle is a ticking time bomb that has the potential to destroy everything. When Brooke Bailey ridiculed her sister in a screenshot, the altercation had officially left the set and spread throughout society. In what began as a confrontation between two titans of reality TV, fans, co-stars, celebrities, and even competing franchises couldn't stop contributing to the pop culture conflagration. In addition to being messy, the fallout was momentous. The initial wave consisted of the fans. With Dowsker Team Chrissy and Dowser Team Brooke on opposite sides, Twitter became a veritable battlefield.